Alright, so now what we're going to do is, again, start back with the basics. She's gotten where she's doing the seat. Oh, let's get back. So hey, I'm Ben, it's Blue. We're doing, teach my 12-year-old how to drive again. Another video for that. We just did, our first video was just kind of impromptu. It was, we just got in and did some, I just decided I was going to teach her how to drive a manual shift and brought my cell phone with me and videoed it, and it's done really well. So had a lot of questions in the comments on basics of driving and learning how to drive a manual shift, so we figured we'd follow along and teach her how to do that. In that video you saw her start from a roll on flat ground. Another video we've just done is just basically getting in the car, getting that seat set where it's comfortable and safe as far as your hands, seating position, be able to see out of the vehicle like you need to be able to see out of the vehicle. So today what we're going to do right now is going to be a video on hill starts. So first gear, all we're going to be doing is on hill starts. So you nervous at all about that? Just a little, okay. Been a few months since we've done the first drive, so we're going to kind of refamiliarize her with the stick shift, how the manual shift transmission works over there. Remember, the emergency brake is on.
Yeah.
There you go, check that. And then you have to put your foot on the clutch. Get sitting like you're going to sit, like you're ready to drive. Get squared up in that seat. Yeah, your right foot ain't going to be under your left foot. It's almost underneath. There you go. So clutch foot all the way forward, right?
Sort of.
Well, I mean, sort of. It is or it ain't?
It's like a little bit away from the floor.
You can't get it all the way to the floor?
Just about. No, there we go. I can get it on. And then just turn it on.
Go ahead and turn it. Go ahead and push. Remember, as soon as you got that, as soon as this thing starts, you got it in gear. Foot's on the clutch. When that thing cranks, if you let the clutch out, that car's going to try to go. Remember all that, right? So no matter what you got to do is you got to remember, anytime you're ready to stop whatever you're doing, whatever this car's doing, you're ready to stop that action, clutch needs to go in, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that anytime something seems wrong, push that clutch in, put your foot on the brake. Okay? So where's your right foot?
Right here.
Where's your right foot?
It's right here.
Are you going to put it on the brake?
No, it's right here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, put it on the brake.
This is a brake. No.
Great learning lesson here. So if y'all seen the previous video, which I will link in annotation somewhere here on this video, everybody was going on about how well she shifted this manual shift transmission car. She did good, no real bobbles at all. But it's been 3 months, 4 months since we've done this, and she's confused which one's the gas and which one's the brake. So again, it ain't like riding a bike. Anything. This is a skill that will expire, obviously. So great lesson learned here. Just because you showed somebody once in detail, don't remember they're going to retain it. So it ain't just practice makes perfect, it's perfect practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So now the clutch is the furthest one on the left. This is when your foot is on. The next pedal is your brake. The next pedal is your gas.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, you're making me a little nervous that you just did that. Okay, so we're going to do some very basic skills here. Start basically from beginning. I'm glad you just did that. So push that clutch in, keep your foot on the brake no matter what. Let's go look and see your emergency brake is on. Yep, emergency brake is on, good. So that clutch is in no matter what. If I tell you to let the clutch out, you can. And if I tell you put it back in, you better. No matter what, right? And if I tell you put your foot on the brake, what pedal is the brake?
This one.
The middle one, right?
Yeah.
The one right beside the clutch. Okay? So keep that foot on the clutch. I want you to start the car. Let off of it. So there's another learning lesson. You've forgotten that. As soon as the car starts, you have to let off that starter, right? Blue, I need you looking at me and talking. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
So you sit there and laid on that starter. Very bad thing to do. That starter's in there running on the flywheel, and grinding gears, basically, is what it's trying to do. As soon as you hear that thing start up, you let off that starter, that switch, right? So what's happening right now?
Parked.
You're parked, and what's your left foot doing?
My left foot is on the clutch.
Where's your right foot?
My right foot is on the brake.
Speak up.
My right foot is on the brake.
Okay. So what I want you to do is keep that foot on the clutch, and I want you to take your foot off the brake and put it on the gas and give the gas a little pat like you're going to rev it. Put it back on the brake. This whole time keeping your foot on the clutch.
This is really uncomfortable for my foot.
I bet. This is driving.
Yep.
It ain't fun till you get good.
Okay.
You ready? Keep
Yeah.
your foot on the clutch.
Yep, it is.
Take your foot off the brake, put it on the gas, rev it, back on the brake. All right. One more time. Keep your foot on the clutch. Now don't do it yet. Take your foot off the brake. Don't do it yet. Keep your foot on the brake. Take your foot, when I say to, don't do it yet.
Okay.
Take your foot off the brake, put it on the gas and rev it, just like you did, just a little rev, and then back on the brake. When I tell you to, I'm not going to tell you to do the whole thing. I'm just going to say do it, and you do all those things.
Okay.
All right, do that. Foot back on the brake. All right, so let's give your clutch. Don't take it off. Give your clutch foot a little bit of a rest. How do you? No. Don't take it off.
Okay.
How do you think you're going to give it a rest? Because the car's running.
It's either. I think I.
You got to speak up a little bit.
I have my foot, I have my right foot on the brake. I have my right foot on the brake.
Okay. You have your right foot on the brake. That's correct.
Yeah.
What else?
Do I change gears?
What is your manual transmission? Is it in a gear right now?
Yeah.
What gear is it in?
One.
One or first?
First, yeah.
So you need to get it in neutral, right?
Yeah.
So remember I showed you getting neutral, right? I've showed you that before. Just pull it out and remember all those. So you're going to be pulling it out of first, and all this slack in between means you're in neutral. So you got all this slack left to right. You can slap it back and forth. That way you know there's some slack there. See if you can pull it out of first gear. And then rock. No, you went on back to another gear. Now rock it left or right. Really mean to. There you go. Now, to test, what you're going to do is start easing that clutch out and see if you see the RPMs drop. Start letting that clutch out nice and easy. Keep on doing it. Keep on going. 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 Foot's off?
Yeah.
Excellent. So you did find neutral, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're in neutral. This is a Mustang. For those that don't know, so clutches are a little heavier on this car than most. Well, not than most. Then it's average to heavier clutch than most of your, especially your import cars. So this thing's got a real clutch in it because it's got real torque. So it's going to be a heavier clutch. So anyway, so your leg's resting a little bit here. I'm going to pause and then we're going to come back. All right, so here we are back. We gave her leg a little bit of a rest. So what we're going to do is this time the emergency brake's going to come off. And you remember the little practice we just did where your foot was on the clutch and your foot was on the brake, your right foot was on the brake, and then you kept your left foot on the clutch, took your right foot off the brake and gave a little rev on the gas and then put it on the brake. This time we're going to do it with the emergency brake off. What do you think is going to happen when you take your foot off the brake?
What I like.
You're on a hill.
Yeah. When I start rolling?
That's exactly right. You're going to start rolling what direction?
That way?
Down the hill. Because your foot's on the clutch.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
So that's where your practice is. It's going to be hill starts.
Okay.
You got to start to knowing what's going to happen is if you don't let that clutch out. So just like we practiced with the car emergency brake on, this time with the emergency brake off, you're going to have your foot on the clutch. This entire time we're going to be doing this. Your foot's never going to come off that clutch. Okay? So foot's going to be on the clutch. Your foot's going to be on the brake. It's going to come off the brake. It's going to rev it and then back to the brake. And all I'm going to tell you, that's the process, right? Foot off the brake. Give it a little rev on the gas. Back on the brake. the clutch will be pressed in the entire time, right?
Yeah.
So when you're ready, push that clutch in. I'm gonna leave this door open because you ain't.
Okay if I like moved up just a little bit? Okay.
Sure, if you feel like it'd be more comfortable.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't go too much.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was good. Made an adjustment where you feel like you'd be more comfortable. All right. So you don't have to. You're not going to be taking any steering input really at all. So I want you to this time reach over there, grab a hold of the emergency brake, and release it. Foot's on. Is your foot on the brake?
Yeah, my foot's on the brake.
There you go. Excellent. You got to lift up on it while you press the button. There you go. You may have to use two hands. Lift up and press the button. There you go. Let it down. And let off. There you go. Perfect. Foot's still on the brake, right?
Yep.
All right. You tell me what you're going to do before you do it.
I'm going to take my foot off the brake, pat on the gas, put my foot back on the brake.
And the whole time your clutch is...
Got to be in.
All right. When I say do it, just do it. Don't feel rushed. You're not going to go anywhere. Because when things start happening, I want your foot back on the brake.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to stand right here with the door open. I want you to take your foot off the brake, put it on the gas, give it a little rev, and then back on the brake when you're ready. You tell me when you're ready.
So I got a question.
Okay, excellent.
Do I need to do it like quickly or?
I would, because you don't want to roll back too far, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, if things get out of control, right?
Yeah.
Your foot's on the clutch no matter what, and your foot goes back on the brake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything's back under control.
I'm ready.
All right, let off, give it a little rev, and then back on the brake.
Okay. Right now?
I'm ready when you are. There you go. So you only rolled back maybe a foot.
Okay.
Was you nervous?
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready? We're going to do it again.
Okay.
No matter what, the clutch stays in, right?
Uh-huh.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Go ahead and do it when you're ready. Does it feel like you're getting a little less nerves about it?
Yeah.
So, because this time I don't even want you to hit the gas. Just let your foot off the brake and let it roll back a little bit. Just lightly off the brake. Let you control how slow it rolls.
Okay. Like now?
Yeah, go ahead and do it. Nice and easy. Then back on the brake. Do it again, nice and controlled. Back on the brakes. All right, I want you to do the clutch. Off the brake, give it a rev, right? Give it a rev, and then brake again, right? Do that again. Leave the clutch in the entire time. All right. How you feel? You feel a little less nervous about it?
Yeah.
All right, this time, let's go ahead and put your seatbelt on because this time you're actually going to be letting that clutch out. Perfect. You did that great. All right, let's get your seatbelt on. And we're going to see if you can do a burnout.
What the?
Okay, is your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this time right here, we're going to be clutch in. Don't have to do it yet. Then you're going to put it in first gear. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it yet. I'm just telling you what you're doing. And then this time, what you're going to do is you're going to leave your foot on the brake and you're going to let that clutch out until you see your RPMs. Get where the camera see it. Until you see your RPMs start to fall. That needle will start to fall a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that means you're putting a load on the engine again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the engine's getting loaded up, right? And you're starting to put some tension on the engine so it can start to try to move the car. So the RPM is going to be starting to lower. We're not going to give any gas. We're just going to see if we see where that clutch needs to be to get the engine to start engaging, right? Right? You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you clutch leg back, ready to go. Put it in first gear. Excellent. Sound like it went right in. Now put your foot on the brake. Excellent. And emergency brake off. Excellent. All right. So this time, you're staying exactly where you're at. Right? and I want you to start releasing that clutch. And as soon as you see the RPM needle start to fall, push the clutch back in.
Okay.
And that way you know where the clutch is going to be engaging. You understand what I'm saying on that?
Yeah.
You know where that clutch is going to start wanting to make the car move. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that spot where that clutch wants to make the car move.
Oh, I see it.
All right, back in. Excellent. So you get a feel for that? You can feel that tension on the car. You can see the RPM starting to drop. Let's find it again. And that way, what you're trying to do is find, there it is, back in, back in. All right, excellent. The whole time your foot's on the brake, right? All right, see if you can find it again. There it is, back down. That was pretty fast. You started releasing it out kind of quick, right?
Yeah.
So let's do it again, nice and slow. And as soon as you see the RPM start to come down.
Okay, it's coming out.
That's it, perfect. You immediately noticed it at that time. A little more controlled, right, that time, right? All right, let's do it one more time. This time, what you're gonna do is let off the brake when I tell you to.
Okay.
And then you're gonna push that clutch back in. Let off the brake. A little more clutch. Clutch in, clutch in. Brake on, brake on.
That was weird. I don't like that.
You did it on flat ground. It's just this time you got to use more pedal, right? You got to use more clutch, less brake, and eventually, now this thing's got enough power to where it's idling off of, you know, or it's going off of idle without giving it gas. All right, do that. I want you to leave the clutch in,
Okay.
and I want you to take your foot off the brake, give it a rev, and then back on the brake. Back on the brake. All right. Let off the brake, give it a rev.
Am I gonna run into grass or something?
No.
Okay.
That was very smooth. You didn't get on the brakes too hard. It was just nice, controlled, and everything like that. All right. Go ahead and let off the brake. Don't even give it a rev. Just let off the brake.
Okay.
Keep on coming. Back on the brake. Nice and easy. Come on. Come on back. Come on back. A little more brake. Excellent. Come on back. Come on back. All right, brake. All right. So you ready to go forward?
Yeah, okay.
Remember, the clutch goes back in, right? As soon as it starts moving, you put your clutch back on, clutch back in, and your foot on the brake. All right? So start letting that clutch out. I'm gonna close the door.
Okay.
Now I want you to listen to everything, do exactly what I tell you.
Okay.
When this clutch starts coming out, then start letting off the brake.
Okay.
All right, it ain't gonna be enough. Did you see how it didn't start moving? There you go, you gave it a little gas. Did you give it gas right then?
I didn't give it gas.
Oh, it did it on its own? I was getting excited. All right, so you're gonna have to give it some gas.
Okay.
So that remembers, you start to give it gas, just a little is all it takes. And then as soon as you do it, as soon as you give it gas, I want you to come back and you start moving forward. Once you let off that gas, foot on brake, clutch in too, right? So, well, I probably told you wrong order on that. So as soon as you come off the clutch and giving it gas, right?
So I have to have the brake off.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come off the brake. And you gotta make that transition we've been working on, right? Clutch in, foot off the brake, to the gas, back to the brake. This time we're gonna do it while you're letting that clutch out.
Okay. Okay.
And then I want you to clutch back in, do exactly what I tell you, okay?
Okay.
So, foot off the brake, not now. Foot off the brake, give it a little pat. While you're doing that, let out the clutch, nice and slow like we showed you with the RPM starting to drop. And then foot back on the clutch, foot on the brake. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Remember, get ready. That no matter what, when things start going weird, clutch goes in, brake on. So things start going weird, what are you gonna do?
Clutch in, brake on.
There you go. No matter what, clutch in goes brake on and everything stops. Clutch in and brake on. You ready?
Yeah.
Huh? All right, so foot off the brake, give it a little rev, let out the clutch,
right. Well, we're just going to have to come into the second video, shows the action of what all was going on here, and come back and check that video out and see what happens. Does she do what we need her to do, or she end up in the side of the house? Check back with us. God bless. Y'all have a good one.